Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another sharing session where we sit down with our vendors and get to know their story and understand their journey to appreciate the products that we see on the platform. Today, we're sitting here with Mr. Byamugisha Ephraim of Native Kampala. Welcome, Mr. Byamugisha.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being
So,
here.
kindly tell us about Native Kampala.
Uh, Native Kampala. It has come from far. Let me begin like that. We, according to the state, we are from about 2021 when we are now doing that whole proper paperwork and all those things. But it has a background story all the way from high school. So in high school, we have something called the Junior Achievement. I don't know if you've seen about it or
Junior
read about
Achievers
it.
Club.
Yes, Junior Achievers Club. So in that club, there happens to be the whole, we are going to be the next economists and all things like that. So let us start up a company. So by then it was called like Dynamics. Very, very high school cliche. So as Dynamics, we start, but it was basically around, it was so much African because there was a lot of Ankara and bracelets, simple things that could be moved in school. So it has been run by now the CEO, Soke Paul, and another interesting big team by then. It was usually known for the cool kids who would be able to have like the 15,000, 20,000 to spare on a t-shirt. So now we transition and then we have, we get out of high school, then we now have COVID-19. So at that point, people, the company is like, when we say done, we are like, now life is back to normal. But I think during COVID, there is a very big realization of what we could actually become. So from nowhere, Native Kampala picks up again. There are so many orders, so many deliveries around and about Mount Kampala metropolitan area. You know, those things of what they challenges and things like that. So it randomly picks up, and then first we're still in high school, so we now go back to the high school setting. Now in high school, all those clubs had to be closed because what are so-called special guys who are just told to go back to school. So those clubs close. You're not allowed to sell things. There's a lot of social distancing. So literally, let us say the company closed. Let us take like that. So what happens? I and the CEO happen to be architects. So now that is about 2020, 2021. Paul, the CEO, travels to the UK, and ideally that was it for the company. So the CEO was, most companies in Uganda, they are
Once
so
the
open.
C-
Exactly.
Once
Once the
the
CEO
CEO
unplugs,
leaves,
that's it.
yeah.
So I now give him a call. I remember it was so random now, like, by the native, what's up? What happened? Oh, sorry, Dynamics, what happened? Like, man, we tried it like this, but I couldn't manage it, or no. The vision kind of vanished. So that would be like, no problem. Let me come back on board, let me get on board, and then now push this thing. So for me, the first things that I had to do was to now, let us say, put the team together. I turned out it was, let me say, shares actually. I first sold shares. I had to first get some money. And it's like about like $1,000, about 2 million, 3 points around there to start products and things like that. So we start having a lot of calls, a lot of communication. But the vision was there, us being architects and
With the
artists.
team, eh?
Exactly. So I tried to bring in guys who were there previously. The finance guys, the people who were handy, but
Get your old
exactly get
old school
something.
back.
So randomly start and then we start pushing and pushing. For me, the first things I always do, I'm like, legitimize the business, register it. My sister is a lawyer. Yeah. So she sets up the company, we organize shares, what. So now the paperwork is now in order. Now,
Did you set it up as Native Kampala or
yes,
as
it was now set up as the real name is Wethu Native Kampala. They call it Desanao Native Kampala.
Native? What is the name again?
Wethu.
With
Wethu is Wethu is
way
and
through.
Wethu, Wethu. It is, I think
Oh.
it's a certain word from a native African language in South Africa, which means like our. So it's ideally our native Kampala brand, design, and fashion. So
Our Native
yeah,
Kampala.
exactly. So we decided to capitalize on branding, on design, and on fashion. So from then, we're now fast forward. We are now moving into 2024. Now, yeah, people, we are now established, we're now going for the Tuvayo market days where we eventually meet. We're now going in spaces and actually now getting to, honestly, by then, it was just, man, you get a product, you go and write Native Kampala on it, it is your product.
Yeah.
But now we are now sit down and do sketches, sit down and try to solve a problem. So if you see our tote bags, our capes, our t-shirts, our every product that is coming up is eventually now having an instance of art, and it has like a whole story behind it. Why is the shirt
Native face.
what is
Why
that?
do you have that?
What is the fist about? What is, so
As
now,
in, why is the face being covered by this? I'm like, okay, okay, what is this in the
yes.
face?
Now, at that point, when we start now picking up, we now have another line. So people come to us to collaborate. So that particular product that you're talking about, the native feast and that face, and I think there was an antelope somewhere.
Yes, yes, yes,
It
yes.
was some guy, I've forgotten his name, but I think we shall put the link below. But he's an award-winning artist. Award, like, guy is actually really, really good. So once we partnered, we're like, oh, we can actually do this thing together. You bring your art and we push it. We have the market which is going to push creative arts, and when we have the design. So let us marry it and get something. So we now started having individual designs. So someone else can come and then we do that whole royalty thing. Be like, I have this thing, but we want to do. There's some of the people of let's say Kanye West goes to Adidas, and then they have their thing. Michael Jordan goes to Nike, and they have their thing. So I wanted us to be able to also pull up other people's lines and their brands.
And yeah, I
We
understand.
just figure out royalties, and then we push, and yeah. So that's how it now happens to be that.
So that's when I actually met you.
Now exactly, now you meet us at a market day, and
So you guys, you began small, I understand.
yes,
But now I met you when you have this sophisticated art. You have these different collections, onwards and upwards.
yes, yes,
Different collections.
yes.
And the art is a bit fascinating. Not a bit, but the art is really fascinating. So you collaborated with that gentleman to
Yes,
bring
and
that.
had that line particularly by then. Yes,
Do you have more of that? Do you have
yes, we
more?
have. Yeah, oh, yeah, we are moving on with. I was actually shocked. There's this YMCA. People are doing a bachelor's degree in fashion and things like they're actually going to school to study for 3 years and get a bachelor's degree and do it.
For fashion,
So exactly in
not
fashion,
MBD.
no actual fashion. Like these guys are really good. So we partnered with one of them, which was a classmate of ours, and then this is actually bringing things to life. So every native product that you see is actually handmade and crafted by people that are here. So every design, every detail, every laser cut, everything is made from here. So we decided to push because as also being taught, they're also being able to grasp like actual design and sketches and things like that. And yeah, they're doing them well, though I don't know why they have not been pushed really high out there. Sketch is an interesting one. But there's a lot of creative art that we have decided to make a very, very hefty investment in and recapitalize it, okay, in us and the people's favor.
So you team up with some different artists. Have you? Is it
Yes,
just one
some of
artist
them we
or
just
just
put them on they're part of the company, they're part and parcel of the company.
oh,
So
some are part of the
yes,
company,
they're
then
part of the
others you
company.
just collaborate with them.
Yes, some of them who come and meet us, we're like, come on, we see these things, good, let's do it together. We're like, yes, Native, you guys are good. Before you know it, we're releasing a line and we're having a product shoot, and they'll be seeing the product. They'll be seeing the
Wow.
product.
So if I have some ideas and I can have an Adam collection, I can.
Yes, you can come and be like, this is Adam featuring Native
So
Kampala. We have a
ATW
whole
collection. Huh?
exactly. So we have a perfect line for you.
Mm.
We set it up with one of the best designers in this country. We set it up, we cut every cloth, we do bespoke, we organize it perfectly for you, and then we now push it. And then how the returns are divided, that will be between what our
Yeah.
MOU says. Yeah,
Guys.
but yeah, also the good of creative art.
So you began with shirts.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I
It was
saw.
the first thing that we began with,
Then
and then we kept on transitioning into capes, into
I've
because
seen the
the
caps.
market has to be able to understand why is this shirt 35,000? Why is it 15,000? Once you understand that you're not buying a shirt, you're buying a
The
creative
value
art.
you're buying the art behind
Exactly.
the
You're
shirt,
buying
the
the
creativity.
value exactly. So if my tote bag is approaching, let us say 50,000, 60,000, what exactly am I buying? And then I tell you, I see every stitch here, it was handmade by an individual. I see that metal plate there, it was banned from this country and made here. So you're buying hours and hours of art and creativeness. So it's so people had to we began with the angle of t-shirts, then we went into tote bags and
I've seen.
they were all over the place in universities. We solved a very big problem that ladies like wearing. So with the tote bag, you can easily, I think they'll put it up there. The tote bag, you can easily carry luggage. You can carry so many things and so little things,
Laptop,
depending on
luggage here and there,
laptop, all those things.
some alcohol.
So you can be 7 man. But when with that, they're able to have a lot of things inside that very bag, and they can also reduce it. So they need able to stand alone and things like that. Yeah. So that's where we are.
So shirts, tote bags, a few capes. Have you done capes? Are you doing
Yes,
capes?
there are a lot of capes. We are
So
going to
give
move
us
into bucket capes.
speaking of all the products and thing, and where you plan on going after this, because I've seen the hats. I mean, I've seen the capes also.
Yes,
So
yes,
I want to
yes.
know, do you have also jackets? Do you?
Yes, we do have jackets.
Please tell us all the products.
Yes.
Why are you holding back, Mr. Byamugisha?
There are so many. And it's important to also go to Africa to World. They check out the website and they get a shock of their lives. Just go to Africa to World, you just check out the native store, you find so many things. And this is what is more interesting is you can even come to us and be partner on a product. Like you be like, "Ah, I want this thing, it's like this." So from there, we do a course of development, we sketch it out, see its viability, run it up with our finance guys. Is it economically viable? Can it sell? What's the target market? We do a strategic analysis for you, project your sales, we get the product done.
So if I have just basically shirts talking about Jesus Christ, if I want shirts or something like shirts and cap and everything talking about
Yes,
certain
exactly.
Jesus Christ,
So we can do everything, just mention it. We can get it done. But again, though we are now very, very centrally about creativity. We don't want someone to pick something from Pinterest and like, I want this. No, there has to be a story. Must be able to direct what we're talking about. What exactly is that is taking you on? See, there has to be something. And then where we are going, we don't just pick things on Pinterest and we get them done. So we sit down, create the art, make it happen. Yes.
So you have different collections. At least tell me about the different collections that you've had
Yeah.
so
No.
far.
Right now, we Dana Kemnon is the biggest collection. You'll be shocked that many people think they are creative, but when like you try to go deep and deep, realize it's easy for them to drop off. I don't. Though there is one that I'm cooking. Yeah, she looks like she's very. Yeah, I'm expecting another collection. One of these near days.
Yeah.
Yes, another
Oh,
good one is coming.
we're looking for
Yes,
looking
yes,
for
yes.
because people are talking about how good they are.
Yes, yes.
So what are your plans exactly? Do you
So
have
the plan is like I said earlier, we are looking into expanding our reach and also capitalizing on our market that is out there. We have a very good team of people in the US, in the UK, then here in Uganda and East Africa. Then there's a small team in South Africa. So we are trying to see how do we expand all these markets such that it becomes more of a global thing. And like and it makes economic sense.
yeah.
It makes economic sense because people that side are buying things at a more decent price and they are more willing to pay for art than the people back here. Yes,
So
some
you have
people
a
that
team.
side they are fighting to identify themselves with Kampala as a city. They're willing to identify themselves with Africa. They're willing to identify themselves with the whole nativity thing. And us here, because we are here, people are like, "Ah, man, I'm here. Then make
You
it
take
here."
things for granted.
Exactly. So people that said really, really yearn to identify themselves with something with purpose. So that's what we are going to give them. Exactly. Yes.
And which other? So how do you? Of course, you have. I've heard about the teams you have in different
Yes.
countries.
Yes.
So if you come up with a design and something, you share it with the other guys, and do they have their own ways of producing the
No,
product on the
no,
other
no.
side, or we deliver
This is
from
the
this?
best. This is the best.
So we
We
deliver
get
from the
everything
other
from
side.
here. We get it from here. Then I lift it to the other side. Yes,
Ah,
very
very.
dangerous
It actually makes
numbers.
sense because
Very
Native
dangerous
Kampala.
numbers. Exactly. So very dangerous. So by the time a shirt reaches Boston, the numbers are not good for your health. but
uh,
it's the price they are willing to pay for an
for the quality, for
identification
the
with purpose and depth, and associating themselves with this great city. Yeah, so it really goes so deep to people really, really want to attach themselves with something. So that's the gap you're trying to fill. You're trying to fill that
anyone who
gap.
has an attachment to
Exactly.
Native
Native
Kampala.
Kampala,
Kampala.
exactly. They want to attach themselves with some. They have friends that live here, people that medical school. If they go to another district, they go
Uh-huh.
very far, but they keep on. They want to attach themselves with something that is
Reminds them
born
of
here,
home.
that is made here, and that is made from this great city.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So which other have you any other partnerships apart from the people you collaborate with, the artists? Do
Mhm.
you have art and also your team? Do you have any other collaborations, any other
Right
partnerships?
now, we are still a little bit hesitant to collaborate with another party because we do not want to lose ourselves. So what I did is it is very easy, usually in either mergers or big collaborations, especially with let us say a funding company. Usually you'll find that your creativity is going to be
Is
worn down.
limited.
Exactly. Something is limiting you. You know, $10,000, $5,000 will it may limit your judgment when it comes to art.
Mm.
But when people are still moving, obviously, eventually we shall have to collaborate maybe with Africa to World. So these are things that we're now going into. We look at you and like, okay, this is actually for a good cause. Let us associate with Africa to World. We are
Mm.
associate with people who are in the collective arts.
Mm.
Associate some people like motive. Look at them, they are looking at, they're looking at creativity. Or more or less so you go to like-minded people, those we
Yeah.
are willing to collaborate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes,
And
please. Yes, please.
wow, we'll show some of the products
Yes, the
there.
products are going to keep dropping, and the Africa to World store, our Instagram store, all these stores will be. There are going to be links down there. I think you just tap them and embrace yourself with art. And also our contacts will be there in case you need to reach out and we have a deeper conversation about art, about our design. Even if you're willing to start up your own artistic venture, we are willing to assist you with our expertise in different fields. See? We're willing to assist you with our contacts, with our people in downtown, uptown, wherever, access to our stores. Because at the end of the day, there is so much for us to fight and grumble. If there is something of value that I could add, to be up to you to just reach out, and then we find a way to share this space of creative arts and make the world a better place.
Yeah. But one last question.
Yes.
I know we are interested in in the art in our native Kampala the art putting it on our products.
Yes.
But have you ever thought about really setting up like an art exhibition, getting
Yes.
your art people together and then you set it up and you're like,
Yes, we tried doing it last year, but we are going to try again this year to see if we can have a proper art exhibition where we are now going beyond, let us say, clothing. We're
hmm,
looking at photography. We are looking at telling a proper story, and to increase the people that are identifying with us.
in that native Kampala just doesn't become about the putting it on clothes and everything, but
Exactly,
just about the
exactly,
art. Native
exactly.
Kampala should be known about
Uh,
the art,
about the
for the
art,
art.
about the creative art
Yes.
that will now later be translated into clothing, and then we wear it, we embrace it. It could be a watch, it could be a bracelet, it could be something that gives you purpose
Hmm.
and realization of you're part of a bigger thing than just yourself as an individual.
And I think you've answered all my questions.
Yes,
There is
please. Yes, please.
Byamugisha Ephraim.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It
Thank
has,
you
has been a
so much
pleasure.
for explaining to us about Native Kampala, for
Yes.
sharing your dream. Is there anything else you would like to say to the people? Maybe
Yes,
just tell them to
something that
check
I'd
it
like
out
to tell
and
people. Well, besides checking out, when you're looking at a product from native Kampala, look at it as art. Look at it as a bigger embrace of a bigger picture. There are so many people that are just working day in, day night to make sure that image that you're seeing is reflected. In case you want to know deeper information, why is it like this? Why is it like this? Why isn't it like this? They're willing to answer all those questions, and yeah, like I said, we embrace creative art and embrace it in clothing, and we look better, and we make the world a better place. Yes. And it has been. This man did tell you that Africa to world, their first product to sell was a native product. I'm waiting for them to reach like their 100th anniversary. We need to feature. Yes. 100 years from now, we need to feature. Yes.
So the very first product, Africa to World, the very first product, I remember we started May 31st, 2025. The very first product we sold was what?
Yes.
The Native
Yeah.
Fist. And it was a very good loss for both of us.
Yeah.
It was a bit
Yeah.
a teaching
I
experience.
don't understand why
Eh.
on an anniversary of Africa to world, I wouldn't be invited.
Oh,
It
you
wouldn't just
definitely have
make
to be.
sense.
You are the inaugural person there. You're inaugural self.
Yes, and we shall be there. We shall keep fulfilling. We shall keep getting better.
Thank you so
We
much
shall
for
bring more people on board. We shall embrace this thing with everything that we have
thank you so
and
much
get it
for
done.
that. Thank you for
Yes.
much for embracing us and for trusting us and giving us some your product. Because and I'm glad we didn't disappoint. We haven't disappointed with
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you for embracing Mr. Ephraim, Byamugisha, and embracing Native Kampala. Check out their products. Now that you know their story, check out more of their products. Check out the Native Fest. Check out, Onwards, Upwards collection. We have them all right there on the platform. Just log on to www.africaworld.store and check them out. Look out for our applications coming soon. We'll be updating you. Thank you and have a good one.